Millport is an island just off the coast of Largs, found in the west of Scotland. With just over a population of 1,800, Millport is a small town known primarily for Glasgow holidaymakers. And Millport has always held a special place in my heart. My grandparents lived there. My uncle lived there. Living on the island for the time that my grandparents have, the time that I've visited, we've always noticed the sea. It's such a big part to Millport. But lately, due to factors such as climate change, pollution, the seas and environment has been getting more and more destructive. I've taken time to interview several locals of the island to get their opinions on the current sea defence walls that are being built on the island. These are just a few of the many stories and many people that can be found on the Isle of Cumbrae.
My name's Scott Ferris, the owner of Millport Bike Hire and Toy Shop here on the island of Cumbrae. I'm also chair of the Island of Cumbrae Tourist Association. Holidayed here since I was 7 years old, been living here for the last 6 years, 6.5 years.
My name's Kathy Williamson. We've lived on Cumbrae permanently for 7 years. We've had a holiday house for over 10 years. We have a business, a small business, a delicatessen, in the main street in Millport, and it's Paradise Island.
My name's Gail Murphy. I own a business on the island and I've lived here for 25 years, although I've been coming here all my life.
I'm Meg Lindsay. I live on the island.
Oh, I'm Ken Butterfield. Everybody calls me Kenny B here on the island. We've been living here now 12 years in this house with the caravan up there for 10 years, but we've been coming here since 1973.
Not necessarily to myself as such. We took over the shop 6.5 years ago, May 2017, but about 3 years prior to that, so it was about 10, 11 years ago, the water had come up and over and was coming into the shop. So this shop was flooded beforehand, but all the shops along the front street are built on sand as a designed floodaway, so the water just flows down into the sand and disappears. But yeah, a lot of the kind of areas over to the side there can get flooded quite a lot. I was previous Coast Guard as well, and we had to block the roads off on occasions where the benches on the front street are blowing or being shoved into the road by the waves.
No, not really. It was just that one off. It was a surge. Well, it was coming through the letterbox. It was up here. Up here. No, up here. We paddled through it. No, it showed you how bad it was. My missus is at the front door with a mop and the water's coming through the letterbox. So I just says, right, come on, out the back door. And we got to the back door and the Coast Guard was there telling us to get out. And the water was high out there, the same level. Well, everything. And high up, no, but the whole kitchen was flooded completely. Cooker, wash machine, all damaged. This is all new furniture, new suite, no, everything. And this all new floors all the way through. New floors, new carpets, new mattresses, new beds, you name it.
The sea defence walls have only recently started production. What they're doing at the moment is they're connecting the elands together with rocks. This is so that there can be more protection for the front against the weather and the winds and the sea. This will mean that a marina should hopefully be able to be built there. The front is said to be renovated. Instead of the current paths that we have, it's said to be changed and turned more into steps leading down to the water.
Yeah, I'm positive about it. It's a good addition to the town. For tourism aspects, it's going to be a positive outcome. It's a short-term loss, long-term gain. The promenade and the front street has all been modified to a way that has nice amphitheatre steps leading down to the water, which are there to break the waves as they come in. Round at Crichton Street, again, additional rock wall for protection. That Crichton Street floods nearly every year. Cross House floods nearly every year. So I do see a real benefit for the town for them, but it has obviously a little bit of upheaval for the next couple of years.
I think it's absolutely necessary. It will bring far more visitors to Cumbria, particularly the sailors. With the new breakwater, we can instigate a marina. We have investors ready to fund that, and the local community will do crowdfunding to enhance it. This will bring jobs, businesses, and it will bring more people to this lovely island. The seawall urgently needs replaced. This is absolutely necessary, and we're forever grateful for the funding to get this done, especially in these times of austerity. We're very, very lucky.
I think it's very necessary. I think if you've been here in the winter, you know just how ferocious the sea can get and the damage it can do to the town. And they did spend a long time consulting with us and taking different people's views into account. So it's a question of whether you want a substantial number of houses to be damaged by floods or whether you take on the chin that it's a long and difficult job. I think we're quite lucky to get the funding.
Bit of difference. Out there it will. As you saw the height of the wall there, the rocks, the sea came over there, ran right by the front door and right out. It was right across the main drag, the main road there. And they had all the sandbags up, they were all getting washed away.
Overkill would be the phrase. I'm not denying that there isn't an issue with water levels rising, and there's a couple of points on the island. I think that the full town getting the seawall is perhaps just going a bit too far at this point. The breakwater has got to help, so I don't have any objection to that, despite it affecting the landscape. Just the amount of or the length of the whole town, whereas there's only certain points that are very close to the sea that I think would be affected by what at the moment is a 1 in 100 years event, although the forecast is obviously for that to increase in the next 50 to 100 years.
Obviously, the promenade has virtually disappeared. It's become a construction site. The various welfare cabins along the front blocks the view to the sea for a lot of people, and that is a major inconvenience. But in my opinion, and I think the opinion of those affected, it's a worthwhile sacrifice because it's very short term for a long term gain.
Oh, inevitably so. I mean, it's affected parking over the summer period in particular. It's caused disruption, particularly when we also had the road being repaired. But you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, and most people that I know just reckon we have to accept that because the long-term damage to the town is potentially huge.
It's hard to put numbers on it because there's a lot of other reasons, weather or ferries, but I think it does put some people off in terms of coming here for the beauty of the place and the view from a flat. If you've got a massive crane in front of you, you're not so inclined to want to come and spend a week looking out the window at that. One of my concerns as part of the ferry users group is the traffic that's coming over on the ferries that are already in a sorry state of repairs, and there's very limited replacements if any of the boats go off. We rely probably most of all the islands on the mainland in terms of lack of infrastructure on the island, and the amount of weight that's coming over on the boats. Not that the boats can't take the weight, but the ramps we're concerned about, and there already has been a crack in one of the main boat ramps very recently, which required a dry dock repair.
Despite the work that is being done on the island, life still goes on. People still work, tourists still come to the island, even with the sea defence walls being completed or not. For me, Millport will always have a special place in my heart, and I look tentatively towards the future to see what the sea defence walls will ultimately mean for the island.